Hello friends. So today I have an extreme honor and privilege to tell you that today I am sitting with Dr. Sricharan, who has scored rank 2 in the NEET 2019 exam. A very big congratulations, Shri.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.
So Shri, can you just tell to our students that about your background about the medical college and the kind of feeling that you have in getting such a great rank?
I am Sricharan from Bangalore. I studied my undergraduate in Bangalore Medical College. Uh, Honestly, I still cannot believe that I have got rank 2 and the feeling is still sinking in.
So, Shri, do you want to thank some people before we start that? What was your approach?
I would like to thank most importantly, my parents, my friends, all my well-wishers, and the entire DBMCI family and faculty for all the outstanding support, constant motivation that has made me land here.
So, Shri, you have already spoken to Dr. Thamim about your journey. So, we will keep the purpose of this is to inform the students that what should be the approach of the student during the MBBS, because I believe that getting a single digit rank is not a one-day task. Now, it's a constant hard work of 4.5 year or 5.5 year or 6 or whatever time that you have spent. So, how were you as a student during the MBBS? What all books that you have read during the MBBS? Have you went through the guidebooks? Then what was your approach during the internship? Or what all help that you took from the external source? So can you just elaborate, like if I say that a student who is starting, and what should be the approach, and if any specific point that you want to mention?
Um,
From the MBBS, like were you involved in the MBBS, or you were focused about your main books? Like what was your approach?
During the initial years, I was not very keen on pursuing any. I didn't think of any branch that I would want to take up in the future. But during the last year, when there was during the last year during the medicine and surgery subjects, as I read more and more about medicine and surgery, I developed a natural interest in it, and I used to read all the standard books like Davidson, and during my internship, which was the most formative year, as I delved into the clinical approach, clinical practice, I developed all the skills and the knowledge and how to approach a case, the differential diagnosis, treatment, and all. I felt that yes, medicine is the place where I should.
So basically, that during your MBBS you were more focused on just gaining knowledge, without focusing too much on the entrance exams,
Yes.
and not joined any, like there is a trend of everybody joining coaching institutes in the along with the MBBS. So you did not join
Yes.
any coaching on those areas, and we were talking, and you told me that you wrote the NEET exam last year also, but you were not able to get the rank that you were looking for.
Yes.
So then you dropped an year, and then you prepared for the 1 year. So now tell it to the students that now see, this is the ideal scenario that I want to tell, that even if somebody has not scored a very good rank in the first go, and now you have 1 year for the preparation. So basically this message is specifically for those students who are aiming for NEET 2020, like, and let's say you have not scored a very good rank in this particular year. So what was the approach of Dr. Shri, who has scored rank 2 in the exam, in different all aspects, including the books, including if the coaching or any online help that he has? So can you, Shri, can you just start with the the day from when you got the NEET result last year, and you knew that you did not get a good rank, and now you were aiming for the next year. So the exact approach that you had, I want a detailed approach to help all our students so that they can get also a success in the future.
Last year, NEET 2018, I wrote and I got around 7,500. It was my rank. So I was kind of disheartened initially, since I could not take up medicine in any good college. So I just passed through the internship, and I gave my NEMANS exam in March, and then I joined DBMCI, and from then on, it has been a wonderful journey. Initially, I used to uh, attend the classes and just go through the guidebooks and uh, look for any notes or jot down the points, extra points, and all those things. Then I started giving my all the tests, all the grant tests, subject tests, and that gave me more encouragement and confidence that yes, it is not like that NEET cannot be cracked by anyone. So as time passed by, I finished all the subjects in the course, and then during revision also, it has given me a major boost for my confidence, and then. During the last few days, I gave my AIMS exam in November 2018, uh, and I got rank 310. It was like an eye opener for me that yes, I if I can get such rank in AIMS, I can really do it in the NEET. So after AIMS exam, I completed around 2 revisions, and then I gave my NEET exam in Jan 2019, hoping that everything would go well.
Okay. No, so so like let's say that there was a class. You said that you joined us. So there was a class, but how you use that particular class? That you attended the class. You told me that you were very regular with the class, but you attended the class. But then everybody is attending the class. But how extra that you did, and how you utilize that particular class, how you utilize the tests, and the what is the importance of the test. These are the things that I feel that the students are looking in your specific preparation, that after the class what you did, or you read the subject before the class, or you appeared for the test. What happened if you feel that you did not score very well in that particular test, or you scored very well, or you said that like you added the points. So these are the things that I feel. How many extra books that you have read apart from the notes? Is there any specific subject in which you need to put some more effort? So just try to highlight these points to the students.
Uh, I think just attending the class is not enough. Being attentive in the class and grasping all the concepts, listening to what they say intently, and asking doubts to the teachers, questioning all the whatever fact is it or concept it is, that is more important, because it will make the main thing for your approach to the question, and ruling out the answers. So after the usually there would be around 3 to 4 days after each class was over, and then I used to go and read the class notes thoroughly once, and then I used to just go through on guidebook or anything like that if there was any important point, and I used to just note it down and highlight it in the notes itself. And then after the test came, I used to write the test, and seeing the answer key, I used to question myself, where had I gone wrong, what was the mistake I did, and I used to go and go back to the notes and refer to the notes, what is the correct answer for it, why I had gone wrong, what my approach was, and why did I mark this option instead of this correct option. So I used to question my thought process, why this is not going well, and initially I used to make so many mistakes, but then as time passed by, I think I got that confidence. I started making less mistakes, uh, and then even the grand test has given me a lot of courage and confidence. Initially, while writing all the 19 subjects, it used to feel like, okay, what is this? Or jumping from one subject to the other, it's very difficult and all. But in the later part, I think we just go through with it.
Yeah, so even I will emphasize on this particular point, friends, that this is the ideal way that you can utilize your time. That attend a class, note down the important points in the particular class, make your basic notes, then go back, read a book, whichever book that you want to read, add on some more points. And I can tell you, I will add one more point, and I think Dr. Shri will also will agree with me that once, even after going from the class and you are reading your review book or a guide book, I don't think that it will be practically possible to complete that particular book. And I'm sure that he must also have come across a lot of time when he's not able to finish a particular guide book. So it depends. But but more important than that is that doing the questions from that particular book, and to see that how many questions are you able to do, and if there are some extra points, please add it onto your notes, so that once you are into the revision phase, you should be able to revise those notes very thoroughly, so that all the knowledge that you have gained in the last so many year or in the last so many months is now at a concise point, and which you will be able to do. It should not be very much exhaustive, that rather than just you are making the medicine in a way that you are making your own harrison. It should be a concise knowledge in a way which you should be able to revise it in the given amount of time. And then he said the importance of test. So as he keeps on testing his knowledge, and as he said, he keeps on telling it, asking himself that why he did that question wrong. Now that feeling coming, that is from within, is something that will actually take you to the path of what he said, rank 7400 to rank 2. Okay, so it is this thing, this thought process that you are building up in your mind, that okay, I did this question wrong, why I did this wrong, is there any way that I can do this right? And that is the kind of approach that we are actually looking in every topper that we are interviewing in last so many years. Okay, so Shri, can you just tell more about the testings that you had? Were you regular with the there are two kinds of tests that we have: subject wise test and full course test. What do you think, that at what time a student should start writing full course test? Do you recommend it an early, or do you think it should be late? Tell me what you did.
I started writing the subject test as soon as all the class, the corresponding class was over, and I just wrote the grand test during the starting itself, just to have.
Yeah. So this is a very important point that I want to raise here, is that don't wait that you think that okay, I will finish these many subjects and then I will start writing it. Because the earlier you will start it, the more prepared you are. And then you will be able to get this idea that what are the common mistakes. Every student has a set of mistake that student is doing. Now once you're gonna practice more, your mistake, as you rightly said, your mistakes keep on getting decreased, and ultimately this is the thing that will matter. Lot of students tend to ask us about the variable kind of images that we get in the paper. So what you did for those, specifically for those images? Many people said that they keep on searching onto the Google and do all these things. So do you think that in the present scenario, considering the so vast source of knowledge which are available, so what was your specific approach for that?
I think images, how much ever whatever we search on the net or anything, there can still be an image which can come unknown to us. So I think the most important point is going through the standard textbooks once, and even the vibe session was really helpful with all the images and all those things. And that's it.
Okay. So what you mentioned that you attended vibe session. So do you think that it was useful for you, and do you think that a student who is scared of the images should have a look at it?
Yes, sir, definitely. Vibe session was very helpful. There are some subjects in which there are very less images, and there are some subjects in which images form the main one of the main parts, like patho, or it can be radiology or surgery or anything like that. So there are some questions to which how much ever theory you read, or if they give an image, you have to deduce the answer from the image itself. So I think for that, at least the approach to the answer, image based vibe was very helpful. and there are some other important updates and all which could not be covered in the class, which were also covered in Vibe. So I think it was a really helpful session.
Okay, great. Now coming to the day of the exam, that how many questions did you attempt in the NEET 2019?
I attempted 295 questions in NEET 2019.
Do you think that the attempting the questions more than 290 is better, or one should attempt a lesser number of questions? What is your take on this?
I think the more number of questions we attempt, the better it is for us, because each questions carry 4 marks, and then even if it's wrong, it doesn't matter. I think our score will be more itself. So I think ideally around 285 to 295 would be ideal.
You should be that.
Attempt.
Okay, Shri, I remember from my days when you write the paper, and specifically when you have attended a coaching, that you are writing or you are solving an MCQ, there are a lot of things, there are a lot of faculty who comes to your mind. Okay, that's faculty has taught to me on this particular question, and there are sometime there is a question that you get, and that you feel that, oh, that so much somebody has taught to me in this particular class. I don't know, but it happened with me. I still remember that I attended Dr. Thamim's class, and after writing when I was writing the paper, Dr. Thamim was coming in my mind that, yeah, this sir has told me at that point of time, this sir has told me at that point of time. So did it happen to you also?
Yes, I can remember many such questions in the exam where upon seeing the question, I could remember the exact page in which the answer was there. Or more than that, I think one of the things which helped me was I could recollect the words which they told that had led me to the answer. So because I was listening in the class.
Okay. Any special faculties that you want to mention specifically in your course that you want to give the credit of your success to?
I thank all the faculty wholeheartedly, but I especially liked Dr. Ashwani sir for anatomy, Dr. Ashish sir for physio, Dr. Praveen sir for patho, Dr. Saurabh Bhatia sir for pharmac, Dr. Jayolora sir for surgery, Dr. Tamim sir for medicine, and Dr. Rajat sir for reading.
No, thank you for that. There is one more question that I want to ask you is that by looking at the paper, I was talking to a lot of toppers and they said the paper was relatively easy. But there were a lot of students to whom we saw on the Facebook also that the people were saying the paper was difficult. So by looking at the paper, there are always topics we know that which are from all the places, but by looking, you prepared the notes by the classes and you added onto the things. So what came to your mind? An average, obviously you cannot predict it as 100%, but what came to your mind that how many questions in the paper were pretty doable? What I mean to say is that how many questions do you think were there in the paper which you think are the direct lines from the things that you have read in the last 1 year by making your class notes and attending those vibe session or attending? What would you think? An average idea that how many questions were the direct repeats that you can say from your class notes at DBMCI Bangalore?
I think if we see the number of questions which were direct from the notes or from the class itself, I think it would amount around 220 to 230 questions.
So 220 to 230. That's a pretty big number. So that means we can say that again this is emphasizing on the fact that it is not the amount of content that you actually are reading. So if it's how focused you are on that particular part and whether you are able to do justice with all the things that you have read. Now don't try to go to all the heavy things that are available. Rather just identify your limits, just see what all things that you have read so that you can revise those things in a shorter period of time, and you will be able to get the success that you are actually looking for. I once again congratulate you for your big success, and the entire DBMCI team is proud of you.
Thanks.